We can finish it and do the third one all in the same time. It won't be a problem. Okay, so here we go. Practice test bank sheet. Well, it looks just like the other one, doesn't it? Solve using substitution. So, what is our strategy? One more time. How do we do substitution?
Get a lot by itself.
Get something by itself, right? Sure. And in this case, y would be a good choice. So we'll get y by itself. So I'm going to move the 2x over. So y equals 5 minus 2x. And then I will take this and substitute it in for y. That's what y equals, so I can put it in there. So 3x minus 2, 5 minus 2x equals negative 3. So I'm taking this right here and plugging it in right there. Then I do my distributive or whatever I need to do. Collect like terms. And it looks like x equals 1. Right? Okay. Then what?
Then plug that in.
Plug that back in wherever you're comfortable plugging it in. Make sure you're plugging it in for x, because that is an x. So I'll put it in right there. If I let x be 1, it looks like y is 3. And I write my answer as an ordered pair. And I'm on to the next problem, which is elimination. Now remember, we have to follow the directions. We'll get the same answer no matter what, but we have to follow the directions. So
multiply by.
well, if you're trying to eliminate the y's, you would want to multiply by negative 3, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Because we need to make that a negative. So top equation, if this is what you decide to do, the top equation is going to stay the same, and the bottom one will become 15x minus 3y equals negative 30. Make sure that when you are multiplying, you multiply everything in the whole equation. You're going all the way across. So 17x equals negative 34, and x equals negative 2. Then what?
And plug that into.
Plug it back in. So x is negative 2. Go back up, put it somewhere. I'll just put it in here. So negative 4 plus 3y equals negative 4. Oh, I'm glad this happened, because some of you had something like this on your quiz. If we have negative 4 plus 3y equals negative 4, what are we going to do? Add 4 to both sides? So we get 3y equals 0. That is not no solution. That's solvable. If 3y is 0, what's y? 0, yeah. Y can be 0. When is it no solution? When it says something like 5 equals 7, yeah. Or 3 equals 0. Yeah, that would be no solution. This is y is 0, and it's okay for y to be 0. All right, and then the last one is Kramer's rule. All right, so what is our strategy for Kramer's rule?
You gotta find the determinant first.
We gotta find the determinant, that's this, of the x and the y. So 3, 1, negative 2, negative 5. And how do we evaluate that? Start here, just multiply first. Please do this one first. So we do negative 15.
Minus
Negative 2. And we're subtracting. So it actually turns out to be negative 13. And that means that my answer's going to look just like the other answers have looked. My answer is gonna be something over negative 13. Now, to find the somethings, there's an X and a Y. To find the X, I cut these out, right? And I paste them in on top of the X numbers. So 7, 1. And then 1, negative 5. To find the Y, I do exactly the same thing, only instead of pasting the 7, 1 on the X's, I paste it on the Y's. Okay, very easy, very easy. All right, now evaluate, same way we did before. So this is gonna be negative 35, 1, subtracted, that's gonna give me negative 36. And then 3, negative 14 subtracted gives me 17. Now you're not done. You're almost done, but not quite. Remember, you have to simplify anything that simplifies. See these two negatives? They cancel. You never leave a negative over a negative. You cancel them out. That one doesn't cancel, so it stays, but there's your answer. Okay? All right, that's page 1. Now we're on to page 2, which is where we have to do all this matrix operation stuff. And we recall that sometimes it's not even possible. So, number 1 says find the inverse of A. And A is this. So what are my steps to that? How do we find the inverse of a matrix?
First switch.
Find the determinant. So I have to do both things. Really, the order I do it doesn't matter, but I'll do the determinant first. So that is negative 4, 6 subtracted. I got negative 10 for my determinant. And then I make a new matrix. And how do I make the new matrix?
Negative 4 with a new 4.
I switch these, right? And then these, I have to change their signs, so they're both gonna become negative. So these two switch, these two stay where they are, but they get their signs changed. So what's my inverse gonna be? Well, it's going to be all of those numbers over my determinant. So I put all of those new numbers over negative 10, and then what do I do? Simplify. So what happens here? Negative 4 over negative 10 is just going to be, 4/10, which is 2/5. Negative 2 over negative 10 is going to be 1/5. The numbers don't reduce, but that'll become positive 3/10 and negative 1/10. And there is your inverse. Okay, everybody okay with that? All right, next we have 2C. Well, this is the easy one. What does that mean? 2C means multiply everything by 2. So 2, 4, 6, and negative 2, 2, 8. How does that look to everybody? Is that okay? That's the easy one. All right, A times C. Before I write it all out, can I do it? What are the dimensions of A? 2 by 2. What are the dimensions of C? Okay, you can do it, right? So A times C, and the answer will be another 2 by 3. Everybody keeping up here? Okay, so now I'm gonna start multiplying, and remember when I multiply, it's row times column. So I'm gonna fill that spot right there. So I'm gonna take row 1, which is 1, 2, and column 1, which is 1, negative 1. And I'm going to multiply each pair and add, so it looks like I get, is it negative 1? You get negative 1? All right, let's do one more together, and then you can do the rest on your own, we'll compare. Now I'm moving over here, so that's gonna be row 1 and column 2. So we still use the 1 and the 2, but now I'm pairing that with a 2 and a 1. So 1, 2 paired with 2, 1, so that's gonna be 4. All right, go ahead, fill in the rest, and let's compare notes. I know it's early and you might not be too hungry, but feel free for seconds and of anything if you want. Also, remember, when we come back to school, I don't see you on Monday, but we'll have class on Tuesday, do our third practice test on Tuesday, our test is Wednesday. I'll be here after school today if anybody wants to take it. If you feel really confident, you can take it today after school if you wish. All right, got numbers in here? What you got? Who's got a number here? What did you come up with?
11.
11, that's what I got, good. What'd you come up with here? 7, perfect. 2,
Negative
I got negative 7. Is that last one supposed to be negative 7?
Yeah.
Everybody okay with that? We need to talk about any of those numbers? We're good. Okay, what's next? A plus B. Why can't we do A plus B?
Not the same.
They're not the same dimensions, and if you're gonna add them, they have to have the same dimensions, right? So empty set, no solution, can't do. How about B times D? No, because B is a 3 by 3, and D is a 2 by 2, and these two numbers don't match. So that, probably E is not doable either. What about 2D minus A?
Yeah.
I think we can do that. What is 2D? 2D would be negative 4, 2, 6, 12. Is everybody with me? 2D. Now we're gonna subtract A, and we do that entry by entry. So negative 4 minus 1. Negative 5. Negative 4 minus 1. That's a negative 4 and a negative 1. 2 minus 2.
0.
Yes. 6 minus 3. 12 minus negative 4.
16. Unlock.
And that's it for that page. All right, so now we have a big determinant to evaluate. Who remembers how we do this?
Right.
We take the first two columns the first two, so this one and this one. And then we start here, please, please, please start here. And we multiply these together and get 0. And then we multiply these together and get another 0. And then we multiply these together and get a negative 4. So when we add up all those answers, negative 4. And then we go the other way. So we multiply here and get a 0. Here we get a 10. And here we get another 0. So then we take those two numbers and subtract them. So negative 4 minus 10, the answer to the problem is negative 14. Got it? All right, look at matrix A. This is problem 6A. Problem 6A. What is A sub 1, 2? 4. First row, second column. See? It's 4. What are the dimensions of that matrix? 4 by 2. Rows, columns. In the expression 3A, 3 is called a scalar, S-C-A-L-A-R, that's right. Is A square? No. Let's see if brother wants a snack. Hey, brother. Well, come on in. Come on in. We got anything you can imagine over there. We have bagels and donuts and everything. Brother.
Where?
All right, that all along the shelf over here. So, all right. Is A square? Come on, guys, focus. Is A square? No, why not? It does not have the same dimensions. Perfect. Define matrix.
A rectangular array
Numbers.
of numbers arranged in rows.
Exactly. So Zach has memorized it. Remember, that's going to be a test question. So if you still don't know it, get your notes out, look at your notes, know it. It is a test question. Okay, 100%. What is an entry or an element? Here, the numbers inside the matrix. Exactly. Okay, now we have our word problem to do, our linear programming problem. All right, so lots of steps. I think I told you yesterday, anyway, I'll tell you again. If you get kind of bogged down in the problem, and you're not sure you're on the right track, go with what you've got and keep going. Because if you stop and you don't graph and you don't look at points, then you're going to miss all those points. So even if you think your equations are wrong, graph them anyway. Just keep going with what you've got, even if you're not sure it's right. This is too many points to leave blank. Don't leave this page blank, okay? You've got to do something. So it seems to me that you ought to be able to at least fill in the chart. Notice we got a fixed interval point, okay? Can we see a fixed interval in there? It must make a minimum of 600 audio players and a maximum of 1,500 audio players. So won't my audio players have to be in between 600 and 1,500? I'm gonna go ahead and write that down here so I can spread it out a little bit. 600 and 1,500 for my audio players. Read, is that what it says? Now what does it say about phones?
Plus units 55.
So these are audio players. Phones have to be between 800 and 1,700. and write that down. Remember, if it is a fixed interval, you're graphing it. It's automatically a constraint, you're gonna be graphing it. The cost is 55 for an audio and 95 for a phone. At least 2,000 items must be produced. Where does the 2,000 go? Total number. All right. Max or min this time? This is minimum. I want to minimize my cost. Now, what is my cost going to be? 55x plus 95y. So the other problems we did, this one we were looking at profit, and if it's profit, we want to maximize it, right? But if it's cost, we want to minimize it. So when we get to the point where we're looking at our, we plug in all of our points, we're not looking for the big number now, we'll be looking for the little one. All right, what else do I need to graph? Is there anything else that I need to graph? X plus y doesn't equal 2,000. What does the problem say? What word does the problem say? Has to be at least 2,000. So it's greater than or equal to 2,000. Greater than or equal to. Okay, you're gonna have plenty of time. This test, it doesn't take very long to do most of the problems on this test. So when you get to this one, make sure you're reading it. Okay, how do I do a fixed interval? How do I do that on my graph? I need to put that on my graph. What do I do? I go to my x-axis, and I put 600, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 600. And I put 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 1,500. And then what do I do? Those 2 points, okay. What do I do now? Lift it up. Lift it up. Pull that point straight up. And where would I shade? In between. So all of this is red. Okay? Now, how do I do this one?
Go to the Y.
So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And then these will be stretched this way. And where are they shaded? In between. So what is now shaded?
That's
The box right here. All right, so now what happens? Now I put in the diagonal one. All right, so 2,000. And 2,000. All right. And where does that one get shaded? Above. So now I gotta be inside the box and above the purple. So tell me what you think about this. Inside the box and above the purple. Do you see a shape that looks like that? that okay? So now, I need all my points. And like the one we did yesterday, I don't have any of them. But some of them are super simple to find. For example, what do we know about that point right there? That one is 600, 1700. And this one over here is easy. This one is 1500, 1700. And this one right here is easy. He's 1500, 800. Okay, are y'all keeping up there with those easy points? All right, now, these are also easy, but a little bit different. What do I know about this point right here? He's on the pink line, so his Y is 800. But he is also on the purple line, which means he has to add up to 2000. So if Y is 800, then X must be 1200. And then this one, kind of the same idea, we know his X is 600. He's on purple though, so his Y must be 1400. Okay, so something different here. We shaded out, up, because it said at least. That means greater than. And now the second big difference is, we're gonna put all these in here. But this time we're looking for the lowest outcome. Okay, the lowest outcome. All right, let's put it in, see what we come up with. So 55 times your X and 95 times your Y. Some of you are way down already because you didn't type everything in. If you noticed, you can kind of tell. I don't know, did I type it in right, or those numbers like you're getting?
Yeah.
Now remember, we're minimizing this time. So how are you gonna advise this company? They, you, he, the company should make 1,200 audio players and 800 phones, and it will cost them $142,000. going to do, and that is our calculator problem. So, what are you gonna write on your paper? You're gonna have all this blank space. What are you putting in that blank space? You're writing down the matrix that you're putting into the calculator. And the matrix that's going in is 1, 1, 1, 1, 10. 2, -1, -1, -3, -15. 4, 2, -5, whoops, no D, 0. Uh-oh, no B, 0. So there's the matrix that I'm going to put into my calculator. Does anybody have a question about something there, one of those numbers? Everybody got the numbers in the right spot? Once you get them in, you're gonna RREF it, and a new matrix is gonna come out, right? And hopefully, that new matrix will give us the answer. What are the dimensions of this guy? 4 by 5. Remember, that's the first thing you have to tell the calculator is, how big is the thing you're putting in? Oh my gosh. Did you get 1, 2, 3, 4? What happens if you don't, if your numbers don't come out so nice? Math prep, absolutely. And that could absolutely happen, so we're not gonna be worried if it does. If you didn't get 1, 2, 3, 4, go back and check check your edit thing, and make sure that you typed it in.